Come with me for another week of frugal living while living in a tropical paradise. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. And right now I'm spending the winter in my RV in the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas. I normally live in Kansas. I have frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me this year in 2025 as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. This has been a week of warm weather and relaxation. I've spent a lot of time sitting in my chair outside my camper reading. I've also spent some time inside the camper with all the windows open, just sewing. And I have gotten some free things along the way that I'm going to show you. But one of the favorite things that I love is sitting out here and watching these birds. They will mimic noises and they walk right by you like you're not even there. And it's really fun to just watch them. They will puff up, they will cluck, they will sing, and they are really pretty when the sunlight just glints off of their feathers. They will change colors. I see so many videos of people just stressed out and wanting to quit work. But then I know people like my husband that are like, what would I do if I quit work? But we don't always have to be doing something to enjoy our life. The other night when my husband called and FaceTimed me, I said, I'm just sitting here in my bed holding the cat and watching the palm tree blow outside the window. Treat the earth well. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, but we borrow it from our children. 2 evenings this week, I babysat the new puppy that my in laws got. This is Zoe, and she is about 3 pounds, and she is full of energy. And it was so enjoyable getting to spend a little bit of time with her and teaching her how to fetch. But we get so used to that fast paced life where we think we have to be doing something all the time. But it's okay just to be, just to enjoy, just to soak up the surroundings of what is around us. That's part of the joy of retirement, is not having to rush anymore and really being able to take in everything that's going around us without any rush or hurry to it. It's called relaxing, and a lot of us have forgotten how to do that. This week, I was blessed with getting some free tomatoes from one of my neighbors, some free grapefruit from one of my neighbors, and also I was able to finish up my clothespin bag that I made from one of my favorite little shirts when I was a child. I was working on my sewing this week, and I have just had a thoroughly enjoyable, relaxing week. We had a few rainy days, and sometimes it will rain or have a heavy dew even overnight. So I needed to do my laundry, so I ended up having to dry it in the RV this week. But it all dried. We just had to walk around it for a couple of days, and it all got finished. So I got this book from one of my neighbors. It came from our library here in the park, and it is about a family that came to the Rio Grande Valley back when there was like nothing here, and how tough times were, and how hot it was, and how they struggled. And one of the things it talks about is the Lomita Chapel, which is only a few miles from here, and it is one of the first things that went up as far as a structure in this area. So we're going to stop by there today and I'm going to show it to you. Mission, Texas actually was built about 3 miles from the Lomita Chapel, and that is how Mission, Texas started. To get to any of these historical sites down here, you kind of have to drive along some sketchy roadway, and it's way back in the sticks, but it is always worth the trip if you don't get lost. We're going to drive along the border wall on what looks to be like a one-lane road, and we're going to go back here where it has kind of got some drop-offs along this little irrigation channel and go down into this park that they established around this historical mission. Now, these churches were built along the Rio Grande Trail. They were called the Oblate Trail, and oblates were not monks and not priests, but they were a religious order that traveled on horseback trying to spread religion throughout the valley. We're also going to visit another historical church with a lot of meaning here in the valley next. But this one is just so beautiful. It has an outdoor oven. It has some historic mesquite trees that have been there a long time. And this mission is still used on Easter Friday. And I met a gentleman in the church whose grandparents and great grandparents were also married here. This next church is Our Lady of Guadalupe in Mission, and it is actually a sister church to La Lomita Mission that we just visited. It was built in 1899, and it still serves as a resting place, nourishing place for asylums that have come over and need some place to stay. They have animals here, including donkeys, goats, dogs, and it is an absolutely beautiful church with a small historic school. I hope you enjoyed the tour of those. I love historical sites. I love sightseeing. Both of those things were free. And this channel is about living your best life on a frugal income or a low income or a frugal budget. There are still tons of ways to enjoy your life, even though you're not spending a lot of money. Sometimes money is compared with living a good life, and that's what this channel is about, is showing you that you can live a wonderful life, a wonderful retirement without spending a ton of money. This week in the park, the blooms are on the fruit trees, and the whole park smells like lilac. Those blooms smell so good. And I don't know if I've showed you our indoor pool that we have here as well. I showed you the outdoor pool, but we're one of the few parks that have both pools. So whether or not it's cold or whether or not it's hot, we have heated pools. Gasoline is still a really good price down here. It's between about $2.48 a gallon and $2.69 a gallon. My car is very economical and it gets more than 40 miles to the gallon. So I'm able to do a lot of this free sightseeing without spending a lot of money. And South Padre Beach is about 90 minutes from here. I plan on taking another trip or two out there before I have to go home. I roughly have about 4 weeks left, and I'm hoping the weather at home is going to be nice for my arrival. It has warmed up there some, but it's definitely warmer down here, and I'm still working on my tan because once I get home, I have a couple of weeks and then we are going to Florida for a week, my husband and I. We've already pre-planned the vacation. We've prepaid for everything except for the food and any incidentals. And so it will be a very relaxing vacation for both of us. And that's why I try to tell you, save in those small ways, because then you can spend the money where you want to. I like to travel. Not everybody does. I like to sightsee. Not everybody does. But these are things that I save my money for, as well as gifts for my family, for birthdays and Christmas. Those are my two biggest expenditures per year that I save in small amounts for. Some people need to save just for incidentals, just for basic needs. And this channel will also help you with that because I give you tips and tricks on where I save my money at. And then you can do whatever you want with your savings. That's the beauty of living a frugal lifestyle. I hope you enjoy these visits with me. I sure enjoy them with you. I try to keep them entertaining and I try to keep them where they have a little bit of fun each video so you can see that living frugally doesn't mean you have to stay home all the time. Even though staying home does help you save money, you don't have to stay home all the time if you're doing some free, fun, frugal things when you leave home. So that's what these videos are about. Let me know some of the fun, free, frugal things you did this week or you plan to do this year. Thanks for listening today. I hope to see you in the next video and give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this one.